And then the squirrel says, I thought you said these were my nuts.
This story is a fictional tale centered on the brutal realities of racism in America. It follows the heart-wrenching struggles, unbearable pain, and fragile hope of an African-American family. Designed to take about 15 to 20 minutes to read, it's intensely emotional, now amplified with deeper sorrow, raw grief, and moments that may leave you sobbing. Tailored for your American views, this narrative delivers a gut-wrenching message against racism, piercing the soul with every word. Chapter 1. The Dawn of Darkness. In the stifling heat of a small Georgia town, where the ghost of enslaved ancestors haunted the endless cotton fields, a boy named James entered the world, his skin as dark as midnight shadows, held eyes that shimmered with innocent wonder. His mother, Rosa, a weary schoolteacher, whispered lessons of equality to her students each day, her voice trembling with unspoken fears. His father, Aaron, slaved away in a factory, his back bent from dawn till dusk, just to scrape together scraps for their table. It was the 1950s, an era poisoned by Jim Crow laws that segregated every breath of life. Buses, schools, even the water fountains that quenched thirst differently based on skin. When James was just 6, he clutched his mother's hand in the market, his tiny heart pounding with excitement. But a white shopkeeper's venomous glare shattered the moment. You people slink through the back door. This entrance is for whites only. James's white eyes filled with confusion as he tugged at Rosa's skirt. Mama, why does our color make us bad? Why do they hate us? Rosa knelt down, her face crumbling as hot tears streamed down her cheeks. She pulled him close, her body shaking with suppressed sobs, and whispered through her breaking voice, "Oh, my sweet boy, it's not our color, it's their poisoned hearts. But it hurts, doesn't it? It hurts so deep." That night, James lay awake, his small chest heaving with silent cries, feeling the first cruel stab of a world that saw him as less than human. His childhood became a prison of prejudice. In school, white children hurled slurs like Negro at him, their laughter echoing like daggers in his soul. Teachers turned blind eyes, leaving him isolated in a sea of hatred. One playground afternoon, a white boy shoved him to the ground, dirt grinding into his skin as the boy spat. "You can't play here. You're nothing but a slave, born to serve us." James stumbled home, his face streaked with mud and tears, collapsing into Aaron's arms. "Daddy, why do they hurt me like this?" Aaron held him tight, his own eyes glistening with rage and helplessness, rocking him as sobs racked both their bodies. "Son, these chains, they'll break one day. Heroes like Martin Luther King are rising. But God, it tears me apart seeing you suffer." The pain burrowed into James's young heart like a thorn, festering, never healing, a constant ache that whispered of unworthiness. As the years dragged on, James turned 12, his spirit bruised but not yet broken. A new beau, Tom, arrived from the North White, with a family untouched by the soft's venom. Spotting James alone on the school steps, staring at the ground with eyes shadowed by loneliness, Tom approached hesitantly. "Hey, you wanna play baseball? I could use a friend." James's heart skipped, a flicker of warmth piercing the cold isolation. For the first time, a white child saw him, not his color, but him. Their friendship bloomed like a fragile flower in a storm. Tom brought James to his home, where his mother baked cookies, her smile genuine, making James feel seen, valued. But inviting Tom to his own humble house invited fury. White neighbors whispered curses, their eyes burning with disgust. Tom's father pulled him aside one evening, his voice low and stern. "Boy, stay clear of those folks, they're not our kind. It'll only bring trouble." Tom's face flushed with anger, tears welling as he shouted back, "Dad, James is my best friend. His color doesn't change his heart, why can't you see that? It breaks me thinking he'd be alone without me." Then came the day that scarred them forever. In the schoolyard, a gang of white boys encircled James, their fists flying as they screamed, "Filthy Negro, go back to Africa, where you belong." Blows rained down, each one echoing the centuries of oppression, drawing blood and tears. James curled up, whispering through gasps, "Please stop. I didn't do anything. Double quotes." Tom burst through the crowd, his voice cracking with desperation. "Stop. He's my friend, please. You're hurting him." They turned on Tom too, pummeling him until both boys lay broken on the ground, blood mingling in the dirt. That night, Rosa cradled James, her tears soaking his shirt as she rocked him. "My baby, how can this world be so cruel? How do we survive this endless pain?" James, voice choked with sobs, murmured, with Tom. Mama, he's the only light in this darkness. But the bruises on their bodies paled against the wounds in their souls, a shared agony that bound them tighter. At 18, the fire of the 1960s civil rights movement ignited James's soul. King's words echoed in his dreams, urging him to fight. He joined sit-ins, defiantly claiming white-only seats on buses, his heart pounding with terror and resolve. In one brutal march, police hoses blasted them like animals, dogs tearing at flesh. James was dragged to jail, where a white guard's boot cracked against his ribs. "You ain't equal, boy, you're dirt," the guard snarled, his blows landing with sadistic glee. James curled in the cell, blood trickling from his lip, whispering to himself, "Why God, why must we bleed for basic humanity?" Tom visited, slipping notes through the bars, his face pale with worry. "I'm here, brother. My friends and I were marching for you." But despair deepened. When Rosa fell gravely ill, a white doctor sneered at the door. "No blacks here. Find your own kind." James begged on his knees, tears flooding his face. "Please, sir, she's dying. Have mercy." But the door slammed shut. Rosa weakened, her breath shallow, until she grasped James's hand one last time. "Don't let hate consume you, son. Fight with love." Her eyes closed forever, and James howled in anguish, collapsing over her body, his world shattering into irreparable pieces. "Mama, no, come back. I can't do this without you." Aaron held him as they both wept uncontrollably, the grief a tidal wave drowning their spirits. Chapter 4. The Cost of Loss. By 25, James channeled his torment into law, battling racism in courtrooms that reeked of injustice. Tom, as a journalist, amplified his cries through ink. But fate struck a fatal blow one fateful night. Aaron, driving home exhausted, was pulled over by a white officer. "You're black, that's suspicious enough," the cop barked. Words escalated, and a gunshot echoed through the night. Aaron slumped lifeless, blood pooling under him. James received the call and fell to his knees, a primal scream ripping from his throat. "Daddy, no, God. No. Not you too." He rushed to the scene, collapsing beside the body, clutching Aaron's cold hand, sobs convulsing his frame. "Why? He was good, he loved us so much. This can't be real." Protests erupted, but the trial was a farce. The officer walked free. Self-defense the hollow excuse. In court, James stood trembling, tears blurring his vision. His only crime was breathing while black. How many more must die? The gavel fell like a death knell, leaving James hollow. Nights haunted by visions of his father's lifeless eyes. The pain and endless voice swallowing him whole. In the 1980s, at 40, James rose as a beacon, founding an integrated school where children's laughter bridged divides. With Tom, he penned Chains of Color, a book that poured out their shared tears onto pages. A letter arrived from his childhood tormentor. "Forgive me, James. Your pain opened my eyes. I teach my kids equality now." James wept, a mix of bitterness and release washing over him. He married, fathering a daughter named Rosa, vowing to shield her from the horrors he'd endured. "The world still hurts, little one," he whispered, tears in his eyes. "But our tears water the seeds of change." In a massive rally, his voice broke as he spoke. "Racism rips families apart, leaves hearts bleeding. But love, oh, the power of love will heal us. Our blood runs red, united in pain and hope." Tom embraced him on stage, both men sobbing in each other's arms as applause thundered. Hope flickered, fragile yet fierce, amid the lingering shadows. Epilogue, an eternal message. James's journey faded, but his legacy burns eternal. Racism devours souls, generation after generation. But through raw grief, unbreakable bonds, and relentless fight, chains can shatter. In today's America, echoes in Black Lives Matter remind us, feel the pain, honor the tears, and rise against it. If this story has left you in tears, let it fuel your empathy, for every soul deserves equality, unmarred by color.